Property Tribe's bringing you all the action from the Spring Property Investor Show, and I'm delighted to be joined by Stephen Johnson, MD of Shawbrook Bank. And great to see you, Stephen. Fresh out of your seminar. What's kind of your impression of the show so far? What's coming out of it?
Yeah, it seems very busy actually. I think we've been doing this show 4 years now, maybe 4 or 5 years, and we had standing room only. I think it's the first time we've ever had that. Good quality, high quality questions as well, informed questions. Very positive. I think probably the best one we've done, I would say, since we've been here. And show looks busy. Obviously, it's quite early days yet, but it looks like good footfall and a lot of buzz.
And what was kind of on landlords' minds in your seminar? Any kind of themes coming through?
Yeah, no, very considered actually. Mainly more macro questions around, in a rising interest rate environment, what will happen to funding costs and savings rates. The effect of the sort of the political focus on the market at the moment, and sensitivity to how that may manifest itself. What could that mean? So those seem to be the most topical things. And we had a good debate, as we always do, about the joys of HMOs and the nature of that and the specialist nature of that. So that came out as well.
Excellent. Well, obviously we're counting down to the general election, May the 8th, 2015. A lot of people kind of feel that the property market is kind of holding its breath. What's Shawbrook's feeling? Yeah,
I think that's right. I think we have seen a slight, it's been a very busy start here. I definitely think there's a pause though that's taking place. I think a variety of factors. I think you've seen sort of the prime central London market slow down very materially on the back of the stamp duty changes. Obviously the mansion tax has been well sort of signposted, but the stamp duty changes have had a significant impact. There's a quarter less activity in the first quarter of this year than the previous quarter. And I think that you do get a bit of a ripple from that. And then you've got, I was listening to the TV debate last night, and you've got some pretty meaty sound bites coming out of people in terms of rent controls and limiting landlords buying properties in certain areas. So I guess it does feel like it's becoming a little bit political, more political, I guess, understandably, where the real issue is a housing issue around supply and demand of property, but landlords are sort of getting pulled into that a little bit maybe, and getting some of the blame for the kind of structural problems we have in the UK.
And does it sort of help, or is it kind of a hindrance to Shawbrook in terms of your planning, not really knowing the political landscape?
No, generally I think the sort of smaller bank, specialist bank community is obviously generally well supported by all parties because they have a competition agenda just generally. So I think reasonably agnostic to that. I think I guess it's the more wider implications of what happens. You have coalitions if you don't have a strong majority. Do you lose confidence? Do you see the economy start to suffer on the consequence? I think that's the area that we would be, and most people I think are more focused on, rather than if any one party gets in, is that good or bad for specialist banks or people like ourselves? So I think that's really and we'll wait and see, won't we? I mean, who can second guess?
No, quite. And what's happening at Shawbrook? Because you've had a revamp of one of your refurbishment products, haven't you?
Yeah. So we've created a bit more clarity in our short-term lending range, focused on a specific refurbishment short-term loan for HMOs and a heavier refurbishment product. And that's an area of our activity that's been very active, still continues to be very active in terms of investors looking to trade, refurbish, improve assets before holding or selling into the market. So we've freshened that up, and that's been well received. So.
And just to finish, Stephen, you're not actually direct to consumer, but obviously here you're showing that you want to talk face to face with landlords, and you want to engage with the landlord community as you do through Property Tribe.
Yeah, very much so. Our model is very much a human model. We want to have a relationship with our landlords and our clients. We do choose the intermediary channel as a distribution mark for us. It's very efficient. We're a fairly sort of small business. We don't have branches, so the intermediary, good professional brokers add a lot of value, and we find them very effective to work with. But we do that in a sort of a partnership way with the client, and we don't use that as a way. And we take the time to understand the client, meet the client, and develop a long-term relationship. The vast majority of what we do, we're lending to clients we've already lent to before, and we're lending more to, and we believe that's important. But likewise, we believe in the value of the professional broker community as well, and the value they add. So.
Awesome. Well, thanks very much for your input as always,
Pleasure.
and hope you have a very successful show.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Stephen.